In today's video, I will show an example of trading based on a forecast calculated by a neural network for the DAX index of the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Here is a price chart of the DAX index in the timing solution program. To test the effectiveness of the model on hidden data, I set the LBC or Learning Border Cursor, for example to April 1st, 2022. This way, the neural network will train on the data before the LBC, and on the hidden data we can test whether the model is fit for purpose. So the neural network does not know the data on the pink background, and we will use it to test the model. We activate the neural network module. We load one of the models that I have already calculated for DAX. Now the neural network optimizes the model on historical data. When the neural network has finished training, we can check the correlation of the forecast with the actual data. For the range of hidden data, the model correlation is 66%, and this is an excellent result. Now I will move this graph to the main screen. The forecast indicates that we are now facing a downward period, which will last until the third week of January. Now let's look at the volume profile chart for the DAX. It shows the level of the index where the most transactions happen. At the level of 13,984, there is the so-called point of control, where there was the most trading during the last downward wave. So we assume that since the supply side pressed before, it will now defend this level and the price should not rise above it. This is also confirmed by the long upper wicks of the candles at this level and of course by the timing solution forecast. So we should now take a short position. So now I switch to the MT4 platform. Another tool that confirms the advantage of the supply side is the falling average EMA, which met the index bars. This is an exponential average calculated from the last 72 candles. This is yet another signal confirming a short position. So I take a short position and set a stop loss above the maximum of the previous day and just above the consolidation and the POC level that we saw on the volume profile chart. As for the target range or take profit, I set it at the level of the previous day minimum. In the evening, we will see how the situation developed, whether the price reached the target level, and whether the transaction ended in profit. At this point, I assume that the profit will be 152 pips and the stop loss of 78 pips. The reward to risk is therefore 2 to 1. Here is an update on the DAX transaction. The time is 21:05 in the evening. The picture is that the price has indeed bounced off the average and is in a downtrend. Unfortunately, it has not reached the previous day minimum as I assumed. At this point there are 91 pips in profit, so that's about the size of the stop loss. So I decided to hold the position overnight, since the model calculated by the timing solution indicates that the downtrend should continue. The only thing I can do to protect my capital and have a peaceful night is to move the stop loss to break even. Well, all what's left is to wait and see how the situation will develop tomorrow. These lows should be tested, and I assume that the downward trend will continue. Tomorrow I will update how the picture has developed. Here's how the situation developed on the DAX. This is the next day, Tuesday, 9:52 AM. You can see that overnight this trade closed automatically and the take profit level. I could have set the take profit order a little lower, but you always see such things only after, and they have already occurred. Well, the transaction was closed and the price went back to the average again. We know that the timing solution model still indicates price decline, so again we take a short position. This time I set a take profit at this low below and a stop loss above the average and the last peak. And we wait to see how the situation develops. This is the situation on the DAX index after a few hours. Here was the entry of this trade, and probably the downward trend continues. I will no longer wait for the price to reach the take profit level and will close this trade now. Well, another 27 pips of profit. Since the neural network has calculated that downtrend is continuing, it is likely that after this decline the price will rebound and meet the average and the declines will continue. Again, based on the timing solution forecast, I chose the moment of entry on the falling average and candlestick formations, while the swing ranges were based on the volume profile. I've tried to present this subject as simply and concisely as possible, but the topic of modeling financial markets with a neural network is much more complex. You are welcome to watch my previous recordings on that, visit the Timing Solution group on Telegram, or just do your own research in Timing Solution. If you have questions, please email me. Thanks for watching the video.